What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, aka the Queen of Paperwork, and I am back with another video. As always, all information contained in this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. All information used in this video is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you, not me. So let's get it. I will be covering the YNW Melly retrial. He had bond court. Well, they call it reference to it as an Arthur hearing. This past Friday, no decision was made on it. And I actually got some content that I want to play.
Yo, what was that I saw with the ex-girlfriend saying some shit about?
Yeah, that's what I was about to play. So I'm grabbing the link now. Where did I send it? All right. So shout out to Music 101. I'm gonna use his video. That's my co-host on Triple Threat Friday. And we're gonna use that one, and then we're gonna go. Hold on, was that his video? Maybe that was. I could have sworn that was his video. Okay, hold on. Let me find the video. Yeah, it was his video. All right. So the full thing is like close to an hour. However, I'm gonna use this video because he chopped it down and he does a pretty good job at doing breakdowns of stuff. So let's do it. I'm pinning it now. All right, we should be good. And you can just skip the intros.
Certified stepper, I'm the leader. Wanted and been on the run since 2019 because she told a statement allegedly that the police is saying she told a statement that will help put YNW Melly away for the rest of his life. According to the police, her first statement was YNW Melly called her right after the shooting and told her Juvie and Sack Chaser may be dead. And also, she said that at some point in time, her and Melly got into it. Melly threatened to kill her. And also, she feel that Melly was the one that shot and killed Sack Chaser and Juvie. But for some odd reason, she's saying she only told them that because that's what the police wanted to hear. She say the police pulled up and told her, hey, look, if you don't tell us something good, you going to jail for accessory because you his girlfriend at the time and you know what happened. She said she never been to jail before. She said she was scared for her life. So she told them some juicy stuff. Now she been on the run since 2019. She been on the run for 3 years. They couldn't catch her. They called her mama though. I must say, hey, that motherfucker know, hey, god damn, where you been hiding that, girl? But she sat down with Law and Crime and did an interview inside her lawyer office. She said her and her lawyer trying to get this warrant lifted off her name. And she filed a complaint on the lead detective because she said he threatened her and he made her say the things that she said. Now, right now to this day, this girl still wanted, and she hoping that this judge take this warrant off her name. Cause she say she gonna keep running cause she scared. She never been to jail before. She say she'll come in and talk. She just don't want to go to jail for something that she's not a part of. Y'all check it out and tell me what you think about this situation. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on all post notifications. It's free. Do it for me.
You guys haven't seen or heard from me because I'm currently wanted.
Mariah Hamilton, the ex-girlfriend of accused murderer YNW Melly, sits down for an interview with us to talk about the case, her relationship with the rapper, and why she never appeared in court. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. So anybody who follows Sidebar knows that we were pretty heavy in covering the YNW Melly double murder trial out of Broward County, Florida. This was the case of the rapper, real name Jamel Demons, who's accused of shooting to death his two friends and fellow YNW group rappers Christopher Thomas Jr., or YNW Juvie, and Anthony Williams, or YNW Sack Chaser. The two men were found shot to death on October 26, 2018, after Melly's co-defendant, Cortland Henry, or YNW Bortland, pulled up to the hospital with the bodies of Thomas and Williams in the car, claiming that they were all victims of a drive-by shooting. Now, the evidence has suggested that this was a staged drive-by shooting and that the shots actually came from inside the vehicle. And in their case, the prosecution focused on ballistics, trajectory, potential gang affiliations of YNW Melly, but in the end, it didn't work. The jury didn't find Melly guilty, but they also didn't find him not guilty. They actually couldn't make a decision. They were hung, and a mistrial was ultimately declared. It came after 14 hours of deliberations. Not an easy case. And as we think about the upcoming retrial, we look back at the case and we think, wow, there were a lot of people who testified. But there was one significant absence, someone who was mentioned but never appeared in court. YNW Melly's former girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton. Now, why is she so important? Well, Mariah Hamilton's mother, Felicia Holmes, told police in December of 2018 about a FaceTime call between Melly and Hamilton, her daughter, right after the shooting, where, according to her, Melly said someone shot the car up, that a car was coming behind him, that presumably the shooter or shooters were hiding there, and then he said he thinks Sack Chaser and Juvie are dead. Then she says she saw Melly at this guy Fredo Bang's house. Apparently, Fredo picked him up after the shooting. And while she offered to Melly to stay with her after all of this happened, she says Melly went to a video shoot after all this happened. Then at some point, Holmes says that her daughter told her that Melly was threatening her and that she feels Melly had something to do with the murders. Hamilton even talked to law enforcement about a text from Melly where he allegedly says, "I take lives." Hamilton also addressed possible tension that Melly may have had with one of the victims, and follow-up reporting indicates that might have been Sack Chaser. Now, this is important testimony, right? This is important evidence. But the problem was Miss Holmes' sworn deposition years later in 2022 was not consistent with what she told police in 2018. In fact, when Holmes took the stand in YNW Melly's trial, things got heated, basically accusing the government, from law enforcement to the prosecutor, of threatening her and her daughter, Mariah Hamilton, to testify against Melly.
Did you have an opportunity to read the statement you gave in 2018?
I read the statement. Okay.
Was it
I don't recall, I don't remember anything from that statement, but I do remember my deposition from December 22.
Were you honest and truthful with law enforcement when you spoke with them?
I would hope so. I mean, it was 2018. I went through a lot in that year, so I'm not sure where my mindset was at that time. I do remember that they kind of bullied me and threatened my daughter and take her to jail for accessory after that. I do remember that.
When you first took the stand, you said, "I feel threatened."
Yes, sir, I do.
Who do you feel threatened by?
Objection, Your Honor.
Christine Bradley, the prosecutor's office.
This prosecutor.
Yes, I do.
So with that in mind, we here at Law and Crime had the unique opportunity to actually interview Mariah Hamilton herself. Again, she never appeared in court. Now, in our interview, she was accompanied by her attorney, Christopher Barris. This was in his law office. And also her mother, Felicia Holmes, was there as well. And we asked her some questions. And with that, let's play you our interview. Mariah Hamilton, thank you so much for coming on. I think I want to start off by just saying I'm so happy to see you and meet you, because it's been kind of, I think a lot of people wanted to hear from you. I think a lot of people were expecting to see you at the trial. And there's been some issues in terms of what's been happening with the police. If you can explain to people why we haven't seen you or heard from you.
You guys haven't seen or heard from me because I'm currently wanted. I've tried to get the warrant lifted plenty of times. But it's just been like a constant battle with my lawyer and the prosecutor. So I just been, laying low, trying to get the warrant lifted before I could even come in and, speak my part.
Let's talk about that. So, and by the way, you are in your lawyer's office. Your lawyer, Christopher Barris, is off to the side. He's going to come in a little bit later. Yeah. So I saw that it was only, I think, yesterday or the few days before you filed a complaint against the lead investigator in YNW Melly's trial, Mark Moretti. And you basically accused him of bullying you and harassing you into providing testimony in this case. What can you tell us about that?
When the situation first happened, me and my mom I was starting. I was 17, about to turn 18. They came to my house. They were telling me that they were going to arrest me with accessory after the fact. My mom didn't know what to do. I was young. I didn't have a criminal record. I didn't have a background. I was trying to go to the military at the time. So I had to just tell them what they wanted to hear so they could leave me alone, which I thought they would leave me alone, but they didn't. So, yeah.
Why did they think that you were a part of what happened?
Because I was his girlfriend at the time. So they thought that I knew more than what I was telling them that I knew, which I didn't. So they were just harassing me, being that I was his ex-girlfriend or girlfriend at the time. So,
when you say Mark Moretti was harassing you, what was he saying to you? What was he doing?
When he first came to my house, it was so unexpectedly. I had put up with my cousin, and they were outside my house, parked. And I'm like, I was confused. I'm like, what's going on or whatever. I'm asking her what's going on. She's like, they want to talk to you. You have to talk to them. They're threatening, saying that you're going to go to jail. So I'm like, oh my gosh. I end up telling him my story. I told him what I knew. He told me that I was lying. He told me that I knew more than what I was telling, and that he was going to, he could arrest me for accessory after the fact. So we end up he wanted me to get on a tape recording and tell him what he wanted me to tell him, so which I did. After that, he was like, they wouldn't bother me anymore. I thought they wouldn't bother me anymore. They were still calling and texting my mom, asking for me. I refused to talk so many times. And yeah, I haven't really talked to them ever since then, since 2019. So, yeah.
And now you said that there's an arrest warrant, it's still out, it's still outstanding. Why do you feel comfortable coming out now and talking about this?
Because I just want people to know that I'm not running because of any money or anything like that. It's because I don't want to go to jail for something that I did. I don't want to go to jail for something that I didn't do or something that I'm not a part of. I just feel like people's looking at my side of this. They're looking at me wrong. And that's not what they're showing is not true, basically.
You want to clear the record. So you file this complaint against Mark Moretti.
Yes.
What are you hoping happens there?
I hope the judge can lift the warrant off me, and I don't mind coming in to talk. I never mind coming in to talk. Me and my lawyer tried to go in to talk on so many occasions, but I was always starting with, if I don't tell them what I want to hear, what they want to hear, I'm gonna go to jail. So it's like, I never went to jail before. So that's my main concern right now.
Oh, I get it. Let's talk a little bit about YNW Melly. So first of all, how did you meet him and when did you meet him?
I met him, I was 15. Yeah, I was 15. I met him through mutual friends. It was my homecoming night. He had just got out of a program. He had just got out of a program. We met through mutual friends. he was like, his friend was telling me that he wanted to see me after homecoming. So me and my friends was like, okay, we'll link up with you guys after homecoming or whatever like that. So instead of us going to like, you know, after homecoming, you go to after parties, we end up like hanging out with them. And ever since that night, me and him just been cool. Like we just been close ever since then.
Was it like love at first sight? Like you thought he was attractive, or like?
I wouldn't say me, but for him,
He was.
He gave me weird. Like when we first met, I thought he was weird. My friends was like, he just really likes you. I'm like, I don't know, but it was cute, but it was like weird too at the same time.
Well, you were so young, right?
Yeah. I was 15. I was 15 and he was like 17, I think. Yeah, he was like 17. So, yeah,
what's he like? Like, what's his personality like? Because I think there was a lot made during the course of his trial about his demeanor, you know, smiling in the courtroom, praying, kissing up in the sky. What's he like?
He's just he's different. Like he's a very outspoken person. Like he doesn't mean no harm, but he's really different. Like he's always lightening up the room, like regardless. Like if he's even going through something, nobody would tell because he don't show it. Like he shows it differently. So he's different he's different. He's goofy. Yeah.
What was your relationship like with him?
We was good. Our relationship was good, but we had some bad times too. I wouldn't say we was always good. We had our differences, which any other couple had. But our relationship was good. We was like best friends. He'd tell me anything, I'd tell him anything. When I'm going through stuff, he'd be there for me. When he's going through stuff, I'd be there for him. So, yeah.
Are you guys currently talking at all, communicating?
No.
Is it because of what happened?
I honestly, it's not even just because of what happened. I just think, you know, it just might not be the right time for us with the relationship part as of right now. So yeah, maybe we could come along in the meantime or in the long run in the future. But as of right now, I'm trying to get myself together, and I know he have a lot going on. So it's like,
has he tried to reach out recently?
No.
A big part of this case was talking about, is it possible YNW Melly would shoot his two friends? And the question became, you know, is he violent? Have you ever seen him violent in any way?
No. He's a very goofy person. I don't think he would be violent. I don't think he's a violent person at all. Like he's never showed any violence towards me. So no. And
you ever see him?
Loved his friend.
You ever see him with weapons or anything like that?
No.
And the accusation that he was part of a gang, what do you make of that?
He never showed me that he was a part of a gang. He never told me like, hey, I'm a part of a gang or I'm this, I'm that. Like the things that they were talking about during the trial, like I was new to that as well. Like I didn't know of him being or wanting to be, or however they're trying to paint the picture of him being in the gang, you know.
Did you ever hear of any of those people that he was communicating with, that they say he was communicating with?
I heard about them, but I just thought everybody was just all friends, close friends. Like I was never a part of, he kept me out of anything that he ever had going on. So, they were like,
when you say that he kept you, in other words, was he on his phone talking? People were like taking phone calls away from you, or not making sure he didn't see your phone? Nothing like that.
No. I had his password to his phone. So like, and he would never walk away while he's on the phone to talk to anyone, not in front of me. No.
So in other words, if he was part of a gang or he was talking to people who were part of a gang, that's something you would have known.
I would have known. Yeah. And no, I'd never known that. No.
I want to talk about Sack Chaser and Juvie. What were they like? You know, I really just want to get an understanding. Their lives were lost. It's a tragedy. What were they like? What was your relationship with them?
They were like family to me. They were like my brothers. They always made sure I was straight. Anywhere we go, like his shows, to the studio, anywhere, they made sure I was straight. Like, made sure I had something to eat. Like if I had to go to the bathroom, they would walk me to the bathroom. They were like big brothers to me, honestly. And I never had brothers before, so I really appreciated that a lot. Like even when there was times where, you know, if it was an altercation, they'll make sure like I'm okay. They'll make sure I'm straight. So I really appreciated that a lot.
Did Melly ever have any problems with them? Because there were accusations that, you know, they might have been jealous of him. There might have been financial problems, money problems, anything like that. You see?
No, not at all. Like he loved them. They went, them two out of everybody. It's a whole bunch of people a part of YNW. Them two, they were there everywhere he went. Like anywhere he would go, he would make sure they're in his budget. He'll make sure they're a part of his budget. He'll make sure they got a flight. He was just always helpful to everybody. So, yeah.
Mariah, do you think Melly killed Sack Chaser and Juvie?
No, I do not.
What makes you say that?
Because he treated them like they were his brothers, like they all have the same mom and the same dad, which they didn't. But he never showed a sign that he didn't like them. He didn't want them around or anything in that sort. So that was just odd.
If he didn't do it, do you have a theory about who did do it?
No, I don't.
What have you met Cortland Henry?
Yes, I did. Yes, I have.
What's he like?
He's cool. He's like a brother too. We're both Aquarius, so you know sometimes we have our little differences, but he's like a brother to me too. He's really cool. Yeah, I know him. That's the crazy part. I know him longer than I know Melly. So yeah, we had a long.
What's Melly's relationship with Cortland Henry?
The same. Like they known each other for a long time. They all went to school together. They were like brothers. They were in a rap group together when they were younger. Yeah, they love the studio. They bond at the studio. Even outside the studio, they always bond. So, yeah.
Would you say that Melly's relationship with Cortland Henry was closer than it was with Sack Chaser and Juvie?
No, I wouldn't say that, no.
Do you think that he is capable of killing Sack Chaser and Juvie, Henry?
I don't think so.
I want to get a little bit into what happened that night. The night that you found out, first let's just start from this. When you found out that they were killed, where were you and what was your reaction?
I was at home in Cocoa, and I was in shock. I was in disbelief. I didn't think it was true. I thought it wasn't true at all until I actually came down there and found out about it.
Who told you, or how'd you find out?
Can you answer that question?
Oh, the police are the ones that really told you the story.
Huh?
It was the police who told you about the incident, I think.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah. So yeah. I found out through the police. Yeah.
They came to you and told you. And what was your reaction? Were you just shocked? Did you break down into tears? Did you say, what's happening?
Yeah, I was crying. I was terrified. I was scared. I was scared for everybody in the situation. Me and my mom went that way, and I couldn't, ever since that situation, I couldn't sleep for a few days. Like I was just still in shock about the whole situation. So yeah.
Did you call Melly immediately and say, are you okay? Or did he call you?
I went down there. immediately.
Went down where?
To Miami, because I live in Cocoa at the time.
Right.
So I went to Miami. Yeah.
But did you speak to him before you went down and said, I'm on my way, or?
No.
Did he say anything to you about the shootings?
No, he never talked to me about the shootings.
So there's been a lot of back and forth that he had communicated to you about it and said that he was there, that it was a drive-by. Is that not true?
No.
Wait a second. Mariah, you know, Mariah's position, Jesse, is that, you know, she was never told by either Melly or Portland about the incident itself. She did learn about it, but she never had any conversation with either of those two individuals about the actual incident, anything that happened that night. So the questions you're asking, I know everyone wants to know the answer to those questions, but I think that's what she's going to tell you, and no matter how many times you ask her that.
Well, I only asked her one time, so I'm just curious if she says she didn't know anything about it, she didn't speak to him. I mean, I'm sure Mariah can tell me that, but I'm just curious. Okay.
Well, I want her to tell you herself, but I don't want this to turn into an more. If she tells you she doesn't know, she doesn't know, and it's not going to help to try to get into the after conversations or any meetings that you may have had with either the.
Well, I hope, Mariah, you don't think this is interrogation, but I will tell you, your lawyer did say that we could ask anything about the case. So I hope that this isn't a tension, but I just wanted to ask. If you don't want me to move on, I can definitely move on.
Concerning the night, with what I have going on with the situation, I don't feel comfortable speaking on the situation from that night.
Okay. So let's talk about the trial. Did you watch it at all?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
It was sometimes where I could watch it, and then sometimes I just cut it off, and yeah, I hated it. Like I didn't like it at all.
What'd you hate about it?
Just how the picture was painted. Basically, I didn't like that, especially with me and my mom, and how we got like paid off when that never happened. So,
hey, do me a favor. Look down right there to the bottom left and hit that like button for me.
Woo, that wasn't even the whole interview, but that was the gist of it. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I just kind of like definitely think she's not being all the way truthful. Because for one, well, where did her mom? Now, her mom originally went to the police back in 2018. So where did this whole, before the police did anything, where did the whole situation come from? Did your mama just pull it out of thin air? So I feel like she wasn't being honest all the way about the original conversation or the call they alleged happened. Now, once she's talked to the police, I did see it in the paperwork where they were saying she could be charged with accessory and all that. So at that point, I see some truth to it, but I definitely don't think, in my opinion, she's telling the truth about the original statements. What y'all think?
When was this interview? Was it after her mom's testimony?
Well, I don't know when it was recorded, but it just dropped like a couple days ago.
And she ain't say the same storyline. The fuck?
Oh, she sound like she capped straight up.
And her mama appears on the interview too.
Yeah, one thing about if you ain't did nothing, you shouldn't have a problem. You know what I mean? One thing about your lawyer, you know what I'm saying, they gonna advise you in regards to, you know what I mean, how to approach situations. But, you know, ultimately, if you ain't did nothing, you know what I mean, you ain't got nothing to worry about. I know how things can be misconstrued, but when you got an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to tell your side, you tell your side, and you don't run. You see what I'm saying? You deal with it because you innocent. Motherfuckers start running, you know what I'm saying? That don't never prove that you innocent. It always proves that you got something to hide.
Yeah, they ass took off running when they realized they was gonna be used as witnesses. That's when the chase went on because the mom did too, but they eventually caught her.
Oh shit,
And
the
it just,
mom ran too.
oh yeah, they caught her in like Dominican Republic or somewhere like that. They caught her and had to put her in jail and put her that's why at the trial she was so like upset because she had an ankle monitor on.
Oh yeah, she was upset at the trial. Yes, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Attitude.
Yeah, I don't know why, because like she's been wanted since 2019, 2020, one of the two, to be a warrant for a witness, of course. But I don't know why now did she decide to speak. I don't know if that I had this theory that everybody that we have heard of this case made sure to make it clear that they watched the trial. And I feel like, is that a way of making sure you're not called as a witness because you have watched the trial? And if you're a witness, you don't supposed to like be watching, keeping up with it. So I don't know. It just seemed odd that everybody made sure they state they watched the trial, from Fredo Bang to 100K Track, Bortland, now her, like everybody. Hell, the other witness that got on the stand with the eye, he said it. Like everybody made sure they say they watched the trial or they watch the news and social media about the trial. But that's just my theory. I don't know. It just seemed a little
If they said
odd
that they didn't, would we believe them?
that they didn't want. No, I wouldn't
No.
say I would, no. But just to make, like, I think the guy that got on the stand, he randomly like threw it out there during his testimony. I'm like, well, damn, okay. And then, like I said, the same day, Bortler was posting on his story. Fredo Bang dropped the song saying he was watching it. It just, I guess that's my way of being a little conspiracy, a little bit, but it just seemed a little odd, a little strange. Caught my eye.
And why they not giving him no bail? Like, what's the hold up with that?
Let me look at it. I know they the judge
Tampering,
did the
witness
rule.
tampering. They scared for the witnesses.
Yeah, and I will say the mama victim been saying that since the start. She said it for Bortland too, because a lot of people was thinking that because the mom said she doesn't want him to get out, she said the same thing for Bortland too. Is it's still gonna be up to the judge, but the timing it's gonna take is he'll probably still be in jail even if he got it when trial starts.
So the girlfriend mom said she didn't want him to get out.
Oh no. Dang, what is you doing? Raking a yard?
Oh, my bad. I ain't know if I was up. I'm working, man. My bad. I ain't know I was off mute.
No, the decedent. I can't remember who mom it was, but one of the guys. Anybody else? No matter what you go through, do what you got to do and conquer the world.
At the great on the beat.
Coming from where I come from, they doubted me, but I came up. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. Coming from where I come from, they doubted me, but I came up. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. Coming from where I come from, they doubted me, but I came up. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. Coming from where I come from.